What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Blakney, aka Brandon Lee TV, back in the building with my co-host Jaelen Gilkey. You might know him over the airways, on the internet, Silky Gilkey. Jay, we back, episode 16, the Dukes of the Gridiron Podcast, brought to you by Believe. We still
Is it 16 or 15, bro?
bro. So I shot a special one. I'm glad you brought that up. I shot a
Okay,
special
man. I'm
one
about to say, yeah.
on yesterday. So I had a up and coming comedian Jordan Campbell doing his
Okay,
comedian sets out in New Jersey. Went to Pembroke with me, so alumni homie, and I had him
yeah.
to
Okay,
chop it
bet.
up.
Respect.
You
We get
know,
to that point where now we starting to we starting to miscount.
yeah, I'm
That mean we
telling
doing
you,
that mean we doing the right things.
we keeping them rolling,
Say
man.
they ain't killed the shit.
Nah. we still fighting the good fight,
You
man.
know it. As long as I got breath in my body, baby.
Definitely, man. Shout out to everybody showing love, man. We've been getting comments, likes on YouTube. Everybody showing love. Definitely appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Just giving y'all a fresh take on some of the culture and the sports that's going on.
And you know what's crazy, bro? We we starting to get so much love that Desmond Johnson brought me back on the rundown.
Oh, let's
I said I must be doing something right because he had me on hiatus.
go. He had him benched.
Yeah, I was on the bench because last January I got into my crystal ball, right? I got into my crystal ball. I'm not a fortune teller, right? I'm just a truth speaker. I was speaker of the truths.
Word.
And I had told him what was coming down the pipe for his Panthers, bro. And I'd be damned if everything I said came true.
I
So
thought Lamar was coming to Charlotte for me.
you remember that? Remember when he said that too? He told me, he said it was a better situation in Charlotte than it was in Baltimore.
No, Jay,
For
don't
Lamar
do
Jackson.
it to him. Don't do it to him.
I said, you know what, bro? I think we just got some fundamental differences. I said, we don't see the same. So we not living in the same dimension, bro. I
Oh
said, one
man.
team just fired their fifth coach in 5 years or whatever, and one
Mhm.
team has a coach for 16 years. Like,
Going strong, structure.
and it don't look like he going nowhere no time soon either.
He was on them sidelines last night too. I seen
Yeah.
shit cheering.
Hey,
Bro,
boy, I tell you what, you're nice with the segues. Let's go ahead and get it rolling. Let's
you
get
know
it
what I'm
rolling.
saying, man? This is what I do right here, man. So we saw the national championship. I mentioned, I'm balancing the date as well as watching the game. Luckily, it worked out for the best. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for Washington. And I'm looking at Michael Penix like, what happened?
Yeah, man, that was a poor performance. Just not just from Penix,
Mm-hmm.
but just from the entire Washington Husky.
Yeah, receivers was dropping passes. It was bad.
Running wrong routes, miscommunications, offensive, defensive line getting moved. Now the defense bowled up in the second half. I can't even lie.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The score is not indicative of how
Right.
well the defense played
They
that second
came
half.
more physical in the second half because they was getting bullied.
Yeah, I mean, because they was just getting gashed, right? I mean,
Yeah, run after
two,
big
was it
run after big
two
run.
possessions, 240+ yard touchdowns for Donovan Edwards. Corum was just doing whatever he wanted. JJ McCarthy making enough plays. But that second half, that Washington Huskies defense came out. They set the tone like, hey, we're not going for this. I mean, it was a 7-point game at halftime
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. And
So
as bad as Washington played, they were still in it.
in it. Then there was never a point until the near pick six. That was really the time
Yeah,
when
that
he was
was
like,
it.
okay, he was like,
That
this
was it.
game's over now.
That was it.
But I mean, as many big plays as Michigan had, just as explosive as their offense looked, and as dominant as they looked on both sides of the ball in the trenches, it never was. I mean, the game was still close at hand.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like I know Romeo Odunze. That's how do I say that? Odunze?
I think Dunze. Yeah.
Odunze. I know him and Penix had that miscommunication on the deep
Oh, he
ball when
was
he
wide
came open, and Penix still threw him the corner route, and he had kind of broke the
It
route
was just
off,
a little
and
too
just because
deep.
it was just wide open.
Yeah.
Like he just
Yeah.
saw green, so he broke the route off instead of running the corner. He just was like, I'm open, just take me to the end zone.
It turned into a streak real fast.
Yep, Penix is getting pressure, so he throws the route. That was just that play was the microcosm of the game for the Washington offense.
Yeah, it summed it up. Yeah.
It was just there was pressure, miscommunication, inaccurate ball, not on the same page, and unfortunately for Michael Penix Jr. in the Huskies, They came out on the losing end of this, and I mean, at a school like Washington, I don't know when they're going to get back to this point. I know that's expanding the playoff to 12 teams is going to open it up. Being in the Big Ten next year is going to help them as well, both recruiting as well as the opportunity to get back to the playoff. I love the game.
Yeah,
I think the right two teams were in the game.
Agreed.
So I mean, other than that, hats off to Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines, man.
I honestly thought Michigan was going to Michigan at some point in this contest. I was waiting for it, and it never felt like they were dominating, but it also never felt like they were losing control of the game either.
Exactly.
The defense was incredible. Corum was out there going crazy. I think though, with the win, for me personally, not even trying to sound like a hater, but I think it kind of exposed how mediocre JJ McCarthy is, though, compared to what we used to see him.
I mean, he do just enough. He did just enough the whole night. He did just enough.
He took what the defense gave, and I respect that. But I just feel like they could have plugged in just about anybody at quarterback, and they would have got the win.
Yeah, anybody that played quarterback in a Power 5 this year probably could have got that win. Probably most likely.
That's how I'm feeling about it, man. So I'm not sure,
them folks screaming JJ McCarthy going in the first round.
That's what I'm saying. I was hearing that a couple weeks ago, and I'm even more sure that he's a third.
I don't think him or Penix are going in the first round. Honestly, I don't.
Penix, if he won this game, I think he would have solidified himself in the late first round, mid to late. The hype would have been there. He probably should have.
He's had a lot of injury issues, man. And then
4 years straight,
he got hurt again. And then he got hurt again last night. Like he was visibly hurt last night. And he already got a big knee. He had a big knee brace on and a rib protector, rib pad. And it was clear as day that I'm not a doctor. I just seen guys and been out there. And it looked like because he had a rib injury earlier this year. It definitely looked like they were.
He got landed on ribs. Yeah, he got.
It was a clear re-aggravate because he was so cognizant of protecting that right side. And then you could even kind of tell when he was throwing some of those balls, like he couldn't get all the way over.
Yeah, that whole arc. Yeah,
couldn't get all the way through it. He couldn't get the hips through. He couldn't get that turnover on that throw. A lot of those throws, and you could tell he's holding his arm real still. Don't want to move that right arm whatsoever. I was in a couple group chats, and I'm like, it's either right shoulder, or it's ribs. Yeah. And then there was one play towards the end, second to last drive, maybe, where he kind of got hit, didn't go down to the ground. Well, wasn't taken down to the ground, but he took like 2 more steps, and then he just went down, collapsed. And after that, I was like, okay, it's definitely ribs because there was no contact to his right side of his body, really.
Right.
But he just went down. Because when your ribs are cracked or fractured or anything like that, you have a hard time breathing.
That's the thing, yeah.
That is the most rudimentary of all things that a human does is breathe involuntarily. So if you're not able to breathe involuntarily comfortably, like you're not gonna be able to do anything. And so that was my indicator that it was definitely ribs. And I felt so bad for the young man because he's given so much to the game. He's given so much to getting to where he led this team and revamping his career from his time in Indiana.
Yeah. 4 straight season injuries. Nah, that's impossible just about to come back from. But I think something you mentioned too about the breathing, like he's not a huge scrambler, but he definitely can make plays with his feet, and they took that away.
It wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, they took it away.
Once the ribs got reactivated, it wasn't no moving. Yeah, he was just a sitting duck back there behind a porous offensive line, a leaking sieve of an offensive line.
I think he's a guy that if he gets put in the right system in the NFL, he could flourish at some point. It may not be his rookie year, but if he can get somewhere where there's some weapons around him, he's a guy that can make all the right throws. I think he's a bigger NFL prospect than JJ McCarthy, right?
For sure. JJ be running though.
He be running
fast.
He be running like Daniel Jones.
I see what you're doing there.
I'm just saying that's how they be running the same.
See, Daniel Jones catches strays now. He catches strays.
Yeah, I'm just saying they run the same.
We're a Duke pod, bro.
I'm just saying they both can run it, but I'm just saying how they hold that rock and they run straight up.
For our fans that don't know Brandon, shots have been fired.
Hey, we got love for Danny J, Danny Doms, but hey, he do be running up high.
I
I'm
said
just saying.
Danny change. Danny
Yeah,
change.
Danny loose change the way he be running, boy. He gonna lose that rock. I'm trying to tell you. But speaking of Duke, because before we move on, I wanna talk about the Harbaugh situation because I'm looking at it. Obviously, it's a possibility they could get hit with these sanctions next year. It could get ugly in Michigan. It could get ugly in Ann
And
Arbor.
that's what I was thinking, bro. When the confetti started to drop, I said, "Wow,
You
is
know what I'm
this going to
saying?
be one of them championships that's wiped away?" But go
I
ahead.
mean, you right though. Is this gonna be a situation where it's a 30 for 30 and wins is getting vacated? Harbaugh. I mean, to be honest with you, if I'm looking at it from the prospect of we losing a lot of talent, we might be losing scholarships. I might be facing another suspension, missing games. Chicago Bears calling 2 first-round draft picks. I might
And
end
I
up
got Justin Fields already, who I'm very familiar with.
right. I got Fields locked in. I got some young talent around me. We probably about to have Marvin Harrison Jr. in the cut with DJ Moore. I
Also
mean,
familiar with.
you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at Chicago and I'm like, do I stay or do I go? I'm kind of leaning, especially if they throw in that bag.
I mean, I'm with you though. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people calling. Your boy's going to be calling. Carolina going to be calling.
Oh, yeah.
Chicago going to be calling. What are 6 openings now? Was um Chargers,
Mm-hmm.
Panthers,
Washington.
Washington,
Yeah.
Tennessee, and there's one more. Uh, Tennessee.
Did the
Well, maybe it's
Falcons?
just
Is it Atlanta?
yep,
Get rid of them, man.
yep,
Yeah.
yep, 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 yep.
Yeah. Got blank
And
about
and
it.
Arthur Smith, they all
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
So it's some intriguing spots, but the one I'm looking at the most, LA with the Chargers and the
Mm-hmm.
Bears with Justin Fields. I mean, both of those. I think just the way the Chicago fleeced the Panthers makes them the most attractive offer, even though their job isn't open as of yet.
Right. Not
So
officially. Not officially. I mean, I'm looking at the Chargers position too, though. Like, you're not gonna find too many guys better than Justin Herbert at the quarterback position. You got Keenan Allen, you got Mike Williams. There's a lot of talent there still. You got Derwin James, one of the best safeties in the
Bosa
league still. Yeah, of course. Joey Bosa out there wreaking havoc. Older Khalil Mack, but he's still out there.
just had a career year though.
Yeah, he's still out
Was
there.
finished top 5 in sacks in the league
You know what I'm saying?
at 33, 32, something
Yeah.
like that.
So I could understand the talent there, but we definitely will keep an eye out on that for sure. But I wanted to kind of look at because we was talking about Duke and Danny Dimes and what they got going on. We see our guy Willie Simmons, the guy, the culture's guy, winning the Celebration Bowl with FAMU down there, first time in his career. I guess
Yeah.
I don't want to
see. I got a different take on Coach Simmons.
I just
Me as a
I don't. I mean, I feel what you saying because I know you.
go ahead. You finish.
I'm just saying I don't want to insinuate, but it seemed like maybe the funds didn't come together for him to stay at FAMU. So he's running back coach at Duke now. I know you're familiar with his pedigree and what he's got going on in his short time at FAMU.
They did a lot of winning. He revamped that program, a historically great program in the HBCU landscape.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, me as an Aggie for North Carolina A&T, Coach Simmons, they do a whole lot of yapping, talking about what they should have did and could have did and how they wasn't right and this was right and we got given this. Y'all wasn't playing by the rules, bro. Y'all got caught. Y'all lost. It's either y'all lost to us, beat us, and wasn't playing by the rules, or we tied, and guess what? We won the tiebreaker. Mm-hmm. So any of those 3 situations, scenarios, I don't want to hear it. But they always got so much to say down in fam. Coach Simmons, he had a couple moments where I was like, hey, you kind of jumping out your body right now. Mm-hmm. But hey, he's backing his program, backing his guys, and I think that's important as a coach, as a program foundation piece, a foundational piece for a program. And now take this next step to Duke. Nothing but hats off. Congratulations to you, Coach Simmons. I think you're going to bring up great you're going to be a great asset to this Duke program because you're going to bring something that nobody else on the staff is going to be able to bring, and that just is
Right.
the perspective and the life, and to be able to connect with these kids that are coming, that are
Yeah.
going to come from a background more similar to yours than the Manny Diaz, right? So I just think, him taking a running back coaching position, I can
Yeah.
only imagine the pay has got to be a step up
Yeah. Yeah. I would
for sure,
imagine.
for
Yeah.
sure. Which is kind of crazy for me to realize to be a head coach
It's yeah.
at,
Yeah.
at a one double FBS or FCS,
FCS.
at an
Yeah. Yeah.
FCS program, and then coming to be a running back coach at an FBS program, and I would imagine that is still a step up in pay, which is kind of crazy. But
Yeah.
all the things he did at FAMU, I don't think there was a candidate more qualified for this opportunity. And I love that Coach Diaz is taking full advantage of that.
Yeah, and that I mean, you mentioned that pay cut, like that pay raise to jump into the FBS level. Like I got my guy, Coach Wentz or Entz, excuse me, out of North Dakota State, made the moves, joining up at USC, being the linebackers coach. So that's like another move where you see an FCS coach, a head coach at a prominent program making that move. But with Coach Willie Simmons, I think him and Coach Diaz, they'll have that connection. Those Florida boys coming up to Duke. I think it's going to be a lot of speed coming through Duke, a lot of local talent. I think he'll be able to reach those kids in North Carolina, in the Triad, and throughout, the state, Charlotte, wherever you may have you. I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready. I see that a couple players have pulled out of the transfer portal. They've landed their quarterback of the present and the future, Malik Murphy, who right now JWC is really potential.
I love to see what the guys. I mean, we don't know, right?
Yeah, we know he's
It's
got
a
the
whole
physical tools.
it's a whole lot of question marks with
Yeah,
you know this whole situation, and bringing in this new regime and the progress that was built those couple years under Elko. So I don't have any expectations for Duke. I mean, it's Duke football once again. You
Mhm.
know, we know where the bread is buttered over there in Durham. It's over there with Shire and
Yeah,
those boys, and they looking pretty strong. They looking strong
they getting stronger each game. I
for
think. Yeah,
sure, for sure. So I think this is just another opportunity for Malik Murphy to come in, take over, let the people know, hey, I'm the guy for the entire program and fan base to rally around, and I'm going to take us to this point. Because I mean, Manny Diaz can only do so much. You can bring the guys
right.
in. It's about them boys in between the lines. Like you said,
Mhm.
it's not the X's and O's. It's the Jimmys and the Joes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what's Malik gonna do? What what are the playmakers outside gonna do? What's the
yeah.
line gonna look like? How's that defense gonna stack up? And that's what we're gonna look to see. I would imagine they're gonna be around the seven, eight
Somewhere in the
win
middle of
mark,
the pack, maybe. Yeah, yeah.
7, 8 win mark. Fourth, fifth in the conference, maybe just depending on how everybody else looks. But I think that's a good starting spot for this revamp and this new regime.
They got some excitement going on down there. I think too, it's crazy. It hurts to see Jordan Waters leave to go to NC State. That's gonna be a big loss for
Ugh,
them. Teams
that's
leading rushers.
across the street.
Yeah, that's tough.
Hey, bro, NC State,
They taking everybody. They taking
they
everybody.
they have gone insane.
I talk in your trap, out your trap.
Walking in, taking over, kick the door,
Yeah.
waving in everybody's face. I
Mm-hmm.
need it. I need it. We want phones, wallets, earrings, jewelry, cash. We say whatever
All
you
of
got
it.
underneath the mattress, in between the cushions on the couch.
Yeah.
Empty your pantry.
That's man.
I mean, how many skill players did they bring in?
Bro, I'm talking about crazy receivers.
Terrell Anderson, excuse me, who I would say is probably the best receiver in the triad for sure.
Mm-hmm. He
And
did numbers.
if not the state. And I know Alex Taylor gets a lot of the love, but I think
Right.
Alex just got more targets, which I think they're both great players. I think they're both
Yeah.
going to be successful and have great futures and be great young men because they're both great young men.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like Terrell game a little bit better. So they got Terrell Anderson. Then they got Jonathan Paylor from right down the street again.
Yep.
Athlete, who I think they might move to running back just because he had so many reps at running back in high school. He want to play receiver. Got great hands. Then they snatched Keenan Jackson.
That was tough.
Off the flip after he said he walked down the tunnel at Carter Finley, closed his eyes, and God told him this is where you're supposed to be.
You can't go against that.
Then you call Coach Doran. You call Coach Doran and like, hey, do you have an extra scholarship? Coach Doran like, yeah, come on, kick it. So they got those three guys out of just the homegrown high school kids.
Yeah, I think they grabbed the kid Noah Rogers too out of the short transfer.
Yeah, out the portal.
Yeah,
they got him out the portal, and then you go snatch Jordan Waters from Duke.
That's crazy.
And you still got Casey Concepcion, who was the most dynamic player in the ACC this year.
Young buck.
He was the most dynamic player.
Yeah,
he was a freshman, right? He was a
freshman. He was a freshman.
The most dynamic player in the ACC this year.
He's tough
for sure.
Yeah.
Every time I looked up, I said Casey Concepcion got 2 touchdowns.
I don't know who told them about him.
I've seen him run, pass, and throw touchdowns this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's a weapon. He's a weapon, and to see somebody impact the game as a freshman, that receiving room, that running back room just got a major boost. They got the kid Grayson McCullum from the Coastal Carolina. That's gonna be the most talent he's ever played with. That's perfect. He can be point guard.
They fully loaded.
Yeah.
They lost Terrell Timmons to Colorado, but I mean he just was looking around like he wouldn't get the touches. He saw KC take over, so he goes out to Coach Prime, get on a bigger stage, get a bigger platform. Mm-hmm. But maybe he saw like they got dogs coming in.
Yeah.
This has to be one of the best recruiting classes in NC State history. Has to be.
Top to bottom?
Has to be on paper. And I just only named offensive weapons.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't even talk about the defensive side.
They signed a few dudes on defense. Restacking up that linebacking core. Yeah, State, I think, I've seen some of the way too early polls, and they've been in the top 25. Some of the ones I've seen. I think they
deserve it. It depends on how the quarterback looks, of course, but
yeah, I mean, that's a step up. It's a little bit different playing in the Sun Belt, but he's been around, man. He kind of remind me of like a Sam Hartman prototype.
Well, I mean, if you could put up numbers against App State, you could put up numbers against Carolina.
Absolutely.
Because App State put numbers on Carolina here every time.
And I mean, he had Coastal in them running for some Power 6 bids at one time. Like, they was winning a lot of games. So it'll be exciting to see. It's a lot going on, man. You got DJU heading to Florida State to take over for Jordan Travis. Like, it's a lot of going on right now.
How many goals he get at it? I know. So is he a grad?
Yeah, I think he's a grad
now
because
he had the first transfer. Yeah, he had a transfer portal to Oregon,
and
then grad student to Florida State.
Yeah, Oregon State to Florida State.
You know what I meant.
Yeah. But they're gonna be in the comments trying to kill you. I'm trying.
I appreciate you. Hey, comments. Excuse me. Yeah, because he transfer portal from Clemson to Oregon State. Grad student from Oregon State to Florida State.
Yeah. So I mean,
clear that up again.
He's hopping back into the ACC. I've been seeing.
He wants some of Dabo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That matchup is gonna be crazy. And Will Shipley, I'm surprised Will Shipley did. He declared for the draft. Not saying he's not ready. He's talented, but I felt like he was kind of gonna be like a 4-year guy.
Yeah, I mean, he got a tough draw. White running back. That's gonna be tough. And I'm not saying he's not talented.
Right.
It's just the optics.
It's going to be the perception initially.
Exactly.
Like, you're going to have to be cold.
He has to overcome that.
Yeah.
To get his name called. And then, the devaluation of the running back as it is.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah, I'm looking at him.
Are you CMC? Like, if you go be CMC.
That's going to be the bar. And that's what's tough about it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's going to be the bar. Are you that?
CMC one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah. Like football players, not even running backs, just football.
Yeah, one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah. So that's what he's going to be. But I mean, he's been getting those comparisons since high school. So I'm looking at it. The ACC should be.
What's Dabo going to do this year, man?
That's what I'm looking. I'm kind of looking around. Like, has it? Every dynasty got to come to an end.
I'm telling you, bro. I've been on this train since about 2019, 2020. I said Dabo might. He finna start running out of steam.
Yeah.
Because them folks starting to see him. That light starting to shine.
Yeah.
That light starting to shine on them, man.
I
And
mean,
I
he ain't
don't
getting
think
them
the folks like
guys.
what they see.
You know what I'm saying? He not getting those guys. I don't feel like the players is relating to him as much as they was a couple years ago.
Too exclusionary, bro. Too exclusionary. There's too many things you telling me you're not gonna do, or you won't do, or won't. And I understand everybody's got their beliefs and their practices and all of that, but like, there's certain things you have to not conform to, but adjust to, especially in the college athletic landscape, the way it's constructed now.
Absolutely.
Like you can't say you're not going to go get JUCO guys. You can't say you're not going out getting guys out the portal,
which is nuts.
You're losing guys to the portal, so how are you not going to get guys out the portal? And so you're telling me you're only going to bring in 18-year-olds every year,
right? And they're not even getting the cream of the crop of the 18-year-olds right now.
No, because you keep putting your foot in your mouth every time you talk. So it's interesting.
Yeah, man. I'm waiting to see. I mean, I just wonder with the realignment, man. Like obviously the SEC and the Big Ten are gonna be light years ahead of every football conference. Like so
it's about to get real ugly.
And you see FSU might be, they looking like
they trying to get up out of it.
Yeah, they trying to run off.
And it's crazy because it's like you're blaming the ACC for this, but it's not really the ACC's fault.
Right.
And so this is kind of your scapegoat because you've been trying to get out this deal anyway. And now you run over there and you're going to align with the people who were against you. So, like, what's really going on? Because the SEC schools were going to tell you Georgia and Alabama were going to be in over you guys anyway.
Exactly.
The Big Ten schools are going to say Georgia and Alabama deserve to be over y'all anyway.
Yep.
So, just because of the situation, how the injuries unfolded.
Right.
So now you're going to go lay in the bed with the folks that was just talking crazy about you in the meetings, and all your own representatives from the ACC that were in the committee voted y'all out anyway.
Right.
So,
is
it that or what's really going on?
It's weird, man. I mean, you could have scheduled better non-conference opponents. I mean, they could have went through the gauntlet a little more. But also, regardless of that, Jordan Travis, we saw what Georgia did to them boys. There was no need for them to be in the playoff. After that game, I was convinced, like, nah. And I'm looking
and I don't care how many guys you got sitting there. I don't care about none of that.
Right.
It's about pride and coaching at that point. Can your coach rally the guys? Because Georgia had 20-something guys not play too.
But it's a culture thing.
And so check this out, right? Georgia's got 20-something guys not playing due to the portal. Cool. You could say those aren't guys that were playing anyway. That is fair. But that's their depth.
Right.
So plus their top players weren't playing. Anybody with a first or second round projection didn't play.
Right. Understandable.
I mean, because you're not in the playoffs, so I understand. So if the first and second round guys aren't playing, all their depth is gone, and then y'all got the guys that decided to sit out. I don't understand how you have, as Florida State, you have 24 guys sitting out because you don't have 24 guys that's going to get drafted this year.
Right.
You don't.
Right.
You don't have 24 guys that are going to get drafted.
Absolutely not.
So you got 24 guys sitting out. That speaks to your culture. That speaks to your coaching. These guys don't even want to be here. They don't want to get up and play this game and prove the world wrong. Talk about because they already know when them dogs come barking.
What?
And you see what happened. They ate their lunch, they breakfast, they dinner, they snacks. They ate everything.
I'm talking
There's no food left. They ate. Y'all can't even go to the grocery store no more.
Nah, they can't even live there no more. They gotta move.
Pack up and move.
Yeah.
Get out the city.
Them boys, I thought they was gonna get 100 put up.
They came down to Florida.
Yeah.
Right. This is like you said, B. It got to like midway the second quarter. I was like, these boys finna score 100. They go score 100 on these boys.
Yeah, that's what it was feeling like. That's really what it was feeling like. So I'm interested to see what happens with them because SEC's already come out and said they not taking Florida State because of Florida and South Carolina. You really want to go to the Big Ten? I'm not sure that's where you need to be. I'm just saying. So maybe the Big 12. I don't know.
Wow. So I didn't know South Carolina was on it too.
Yeah, because they fighting for the same. Yeah, they fight for the same dudes.
Same recruits. Yeah, same recruits. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, that's who need to get a new coach.
Yeah, man, and I like Coach Beaver. He got some fight to him.
Yeah, he's spunky.
Yeah, he's spunk. I like that. He's spunky. Yeah, he is.
But I mean, that don't. But you know what you do with the folks that spunky, like it's like your little cousin spunky.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And you just put your arm out and they swinging, they trying to hit you.
That's what
That's
it
all
is.
spunk get you. Spunk get you a
Yeah.
stiff arm to the face.
And that's what it feel like South Carolina's going through on the field, like just battling against them guys. Man, I saw too. Just speaking of the SEC, you got Luther Burden is going back to the zoo.
I was very surprised about that, bro.
Yes.
I was very, very surprised about that. But I mean, he feel like they had more work to do.
Yeah.
You know, he feels like they're on the precipice of doing something amazing or getting back to the SEC championship game, which is going to be impossible because you're going to have to beat Georgia.
Yeah. And Ole Miss.
Because y'all happen to be in the East.
And them boys from Ole Miss, what they done in the portal, oh my gosh.
Yeah. But see, they got to go through Bama though.
They do.
But Mizzou got to go through Georgia.
Yeah.
That's their hurdle every year.
That midnight train to
in
Georgia,
the 2 years. Yeah, that 2 years they made it to the SEC when my dogs was out there.
Mm-hmm.
It was the SEC championship game. It was amazing because they'll beat Georgia or Georgia have some down years, whatever.
Yeah,
lose 2-3 games.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, you got, like you said, you got to take that midnight train, that Gladys Knight.
Yeah,
midnight train.
I'm trying to tell you what Georgia on my mind. My goodness.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, no, I'm interested to see. Shout out to Coach Drinkowitz though. Landing the #1 defensive lineman in the nation. That's tough.
And it looks, since we were talking about state, it looks like Dalen Smothers is out the portal and landing in Raleigh.
Oh, I love that.
Another Carolina boy.
Man, Charlotte
snatched him out the portal at Oklahoma.
Man, I love his game. Yeah, he was
unbelievable.
Yeah,
he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Chambers, oh my God, he had Chambers rocking.
I mean, bro, unbelievable in space, run through you, run around you, run past you. Yeah,
right. He had Chambers rocking.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Now I'm excited for them. We got a couple minutes, man. I have mentioned that I had, shot an episode with my guy Jordan Campbell, up and coming comedian. The biggest video on the internet right now is the Katt Williams interview on Club Shay Shay's. Been talking about for days. So I kind of got his perspective on, I feel like with comedy, it's almost like rap. You got to write your own stuff and you're not respected. We chopping it up about it. 2 hours and 45 minutes.
And once you get to a certain level, you can have a writer because you just get to that level. That's how it goes.
So, it was an Avengers movie, about 3 hours. We got through it, but
had me locked in though.
You know what I'm saying? So I kind of shared my thoughts on it last episode. Which I wanted to get your take on it, your initial reaction, and how you still feeling about it now you done had some days to marinate on it.
Hey man, I've always loved Katt. Katt's always been one of my favorite comedians, whether that be movie, sketch, wilding out.
He's funny everywhere.
Matter.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, Katt Williams is hilarious. So I'm sitting there. I was locked in. I literally got off. I worked nights. I anchored the show. Got off midnight. Got home. I watched it from the end of the show until 3:30 in the morning. I had to be at work at 9 o'clock next morning. I didn't care. Like I watched the whole thing.
Okay.
I was locked in, and then I watched it 2 days later with my girl. Like just having a great The laughs.
Yeah.
The laughs, bro. I had such a great time. I mean, I like everybody, some it's hyperbole with a lot of things. But I don't think he was too far off on anything. It hurt my heart to hear him talk about said like that, St. Louis. But oh well. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by any of it, bro. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. There's so many facts out there to support his arguments that, I can't sit here and say this man is delusional or lying or anything. The common buzzwords that people trying to use on the internet.
Definitely. I definitely wanted to get your take on that, Jay. Well, we up against it. That's a wrap for us. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Give us a follow. Keep liking. Keep doing what y'all doing, man. Till next time, we out.